Hey, we are live. We are live. Happy Thursday for those who celebrate Thursdays. How's everybody doing tonight? Let us know in the chat. Give me a one if you can hear me okay. Make sure my audio is on. We'll get rocking and rolling. Hey, artsy lady, good to see you in here. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Okay, guys, if you're new to this is your first time coming on the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. We do these every single Thursday, so come rain or shine, as it looks like it's going to be raining here in Sarasota very soon. We do these every single Thursday, rain or shine. What I usually do is I jump on and I train for about 10 to 15 minutes on a particular topic. I then have a handful of questions. I have 3 questions that were emailed into me this week. Looks like one on YouTube, and then 2 were emailed in. I'll address those with the group, and I'll go through them, and then it will go through the live chat, and then finish up with the training through the live chat questions. So if you have any specific questions you want me to jump into today, let me know. Go ahead and type them in the chat here, and I'll make sure the chat is up and running. And we'll get rocking and rolling. If you could do me a huge favor, 2 things I ask, and only 2 tonight. Number 1, do me a huge favor, smash that thumbs up. What that thumbs up does is it lets everybody in the YouTube world know that we are broadcasting live. So everybody in the manufactured home space knows that we are here providing the best information that we possibly can. Number 2, if you haven't yet done so, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you a dime. Smash that subscribe, and that'll help us out quite a bit. I did not get enough water today, so I apologize. Let me get a sip of water, and then let's get going with the training. Man, got a frog in my throat here. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Tonight, I'm excited. We are going to have an awesome time, and I'm thrilled everybody is here. So without further delay, let's get rocking, let's get rolling. So this week, we're going to talk about park models, and are park models right for you? Okay. Now, park models are going to be, here we go. Park models are going to be a type of home that a lot of people don't give enough credit to. And if you're friends of the channel, if you watch our videos, thank you so much on our YouTube channel. But I'm a huge fan of park models. Okay. And there's a lot of reasons why I'm such a huge fan. Before I tell you about why I think park models are the unsung hero and why a lot of people seem to overlook them, let's discuss what a park model is, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so a park model, my screen share is not popping up here. 1 second, let me get you some photos here. I got a new software that I'm working on, and kind of having a bit of an issue here, so bear with me. That's the great thing about live. Let's see if we can get this going here. I was playing with this earlier today. I'm sorry, guys. Hang tight. 1 second. Okay, well, my software is fighting me here, so I will wave the white flag, and I'll go a cappella, as they say. Park models are going to be just like single wides, okay, but they're going to just be shorter. All right. So when you're talking about a manufactured home, so many times people are just focused on a single wide, a double wide, or if they have private land, they're going to go and put it on a triple wide. Now, let's talk about terminology. A wide, okay, is the section of the home. Okay, a single wide, single, 1 section. A double wide, 2 sections, triple wide, 3, right? That makes sense. Where a lot of people totally forget about a different type of home, and that is going to be a park model. And a park model is going to be just like a single wide. And I apologize, I had all this stuff set up, and now my computer is acting goofy, so I'm sorry, guys. A park model is going to be just like a single wide, only it's going to be shorter. Okay, so in the state of Florida, the park models are always going to be under 36 feet long. Okay. Traditionally speaking, they're going to be as narrow as 10 feet, as wide as 16 feet, but they are going to be under 36 feet long. Okay, so you can do the math on that. The vast majority of the ones that we see on our channel are going to be 12 feet wide and about 32 feet long. So rough numbers, about 400 square feet. Okay, that's what a park model is going to be. It's going to look like a single wide when you see it from the street. You're only going to be able to tell it's a park model when you roll around and you actually see that it's a shorter home. Okay, so that's what a park model is going to actually be. Now, some people call them, park model RVs because technically they're licensed as an RV. We call them at the mobile home dealer park model mobile homes. The reason why we call them park model mobile homes is I just don't want to have so many words for the same thing, right? Tomato and tomato. So we'd rather just call everything the same thing. We're the mobile home dealer. That's our company. We might as well just call everything a mobile home. So we call it single wide mobile home, double wide, triple wide park model mobile home. Now, the term with the park model, okay, the reason why so many people don't look at them is because park models a lot of times are actually not going to be physically available in a traditional manufactured home community. The vast majority of communities are going to have singles and doubles. Very few are going to have triple wides, and even fewer still are going to have park models. There's a lot of reasons for that. The main one is simply because the spaces in a traditional manufactured home park are going to be retrofitted for a single and a double wide. They're not going to be retrofitted for a park model, and they sure as heck are not going to be retrofitted for a tiny home. We get questions all the time about, can a park have a tiny home? Where can tiny homes go? Okay, park models a lot of times are going to fall under similar sized tiny homes. And as such, they're not going to fit into many parks. Now, the question then is asked, well, Mark, if they can't fit into a regular manufactured home community, then where do they go, right? That's your next logical question. They always are going to wind up in RV-based parks, okay? So RV-based parks are going to be parks where you have fifth wheels, you have travel trailers, you have toy haulers. If you're not familiar with what those are, they're just the living spaces that go behind pickup trucks. Okay, so you can drive a big diesel pickup truck, bring a gooseneck with a fifth wheel or a toy hauler. Okay, those parks where those folks park those, okay, those parks are always going to have the park model mobile homes. Okay, now it's based on insurance, it's based on licensing, and that's a different conversation for a different day. But those are going to be the parks that you're going to be able to find park models in. Okay. Now, the reason why I love park models, that I absolutely love park models, okay, is because with park models, a lot of times you can get way more bang for your buck than you can a single wide and sure as heck for a double wide. Now, hear me out. With a park model, and again, I apologize, I don't have the visuals tonight, but with a park model, a lot of times what you can do is you can put a carport on it, you can put a screened-in porch, and you can wall it in, you can window it in, you can screen it in, whatever you want to do with that. So essentially what you can do is you can make a short double wide for a fraction of the cost. Remember, park models are going to be shorter, so they're going to be under 36 feet long. The vast majority of them are around 32 to 34 feet, but they're 12 feet wide, most of them. You can then go and put another 12-foot wide structure on the home, run central AC out there, put a bathroom, put a bedroom, whatever else you're going to do out on that side. Okay. And then now all of a sudden you basically have a double wide, right? Because a lot of double wides are going to be 24 feet wide. So you're going to have a double wide, but it's just going to be shorter. So the body of the home is going to be 12 feet wide. The Florida room or the screened-in porch room is going to be 12 feet wide. Okay. You follow me? So I got one side is 12, one side is 12. Now I have 24. And then it's just going to be about 34 feet long as opposed to a traditional double wide. And short double wides will be 38 feet long. So you can get a park model that's 34 feet long, make it a double wide, if you will. Okay. And then what you can do is you're going to only be 4 feet shorter than a double wide. And you're going to be able to buy that park model and put that Florida room on for 20%, maybe 25% the price of a double wide. So when people look at homes all the time, they immediately say, oh, well, I need a 2-bed, 2-bath double wide. Okay, like that's kind of like your gold standard in this business. 2-bed, 2-bath double wides. I got you. The problem though is people don't always understand or aren't aware of what a park model is. Once they understand what a park model is and they understand trying to get the most bang for their buck, they can immediately take a step back and say, "Holy smokes, I can get a park model that's essentially the same width as a double wide. If I put a Florida room or a screen-in porch on there, it's just going to be a little bit shorter. And I can usually buy one of these park models in great condition. You've seen them on our channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, you'll see it there. We have park models up there all the time that are 2018, 2020 units. They have all the latest, updates, fixes, and finishes, if you will. And we sell them for like 15 grand. And those are pre-owned homes. I understand that, but it's like, $15,000, $20,000. You can get a brand new park model that's fully juiced for 40,000, 45,000. That's brand new. Once you add on the carport or you add on the Florida room, I mean, you're looking at, if you're doing a brand new deal, a brand new house, you might be looking at $50,000, $60,000, which I understand is a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not. But if you compare that to a brand new double wide, which we talked about 2 weeks ago on the show, you're talking an average brand new double wide is 115. So you're looking at, on a brand new side of things with a fully built out second living structure, you're talking about half the price of a double wide. They're phenomenal. Now, the only issue that people will push back is they'll say, well, okay, if I get a park model, then what about storage? And again, you'll see it on our channel. And I apologize again for not having the visuals, but when you're talking about storage, park models always have tons of nooks and crannies to put all your goodies. Don't forget, if you build out that second structure there, okay, you build out that second structure, then you're going to go ahead as well and have that whole area for maybe your car, maybe your boat, maybe a guest quarters, whatever you want to do. So park models are an absolute winner. Now, the other thing about park models is park models, like I said earlier on the show, the vast majority of park models are going to be found in RV parks. Okay. Now, why do I like that? Well, I like that for a couple of reasons. RV parks, and we don't feature a ton on the channel, but we will in the near future. I can assure you that. RV parks are great because RV parks, generally speaking, are going to have some of the best amenities, pools, dog parks, social activities, all kinds of fun stuff. You're usually going to be closer to major area attractions. Okay. So we put we just took a listing today. That's a park model. It's a 2017. It's going to go up on the channel. It's going to be $19,000. And you can ride your bicycle to Siesta Key Beach. Okay. The lot rent there is like $700 a month. I get it. Some people don't want to pay lot rent. That's fine. I got what you're saying, but hear me out. Okay. That's going to be a $17,000 house. It's a 2018, $17,000. And it has a fully built out Florida room. And that house brand new is probably 40 grand and they're selling it for 17. Okay. So you're going to be able to ride your bicycle to Siesta Key Beach, if you're a beach person, in this park model for under $20,000. That's amazing, right? Like that cost, if you got that square footage in a condo, would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. The fact that you can get a park model in this RV park down the way from Siesta Key is absolutely phenomenal. The other reason why I like it is because if they're in RV parks, a lot of RV parks are going to be all ages. Okay. And we have people on the channel all the time who say, well, could you have more homes, or where are the all ages homes, the all ages parks, excuse me. And I always push them back then to go and look at the RV park, because RV parks a lot of times are going to be all ages. They're going to have some of the best amenities. They're going to have some of the best locations, not just to the beaches, but to school districts, all that type of stuff. Okay. You're going to have usually more of a, how do I say this? Not nearly as busy of a neighborhood, because you're going to have a lot of people popping in for like 3 or 4 months in the wintertime. And if that's what you want to do, if you want to be a seasonal person, that's fine, still do your deal. But if you're looking at this for you and your family, then you're going to have that pool and those awesome amenities basically to yourself within reason, the vast majority of the year, because a lot of the RVers are only travelers in the wintertime or in the summertime if you're up north. So park models are an absolute game changer when it comes to people who are looking for affordable housing. You get a newer home with nicer features than your older homes. You can get pretty much a double wide, if you will, for about 25% of the price of a double wide. You can get the same square footage as a short double wide for 25% of the price with a newer home, newer updates, newer appliances. You'll probably get stuff still under warranty, and it's an absolute win-win. You're going to be putting it in an RV park, more than likely. That's going to have nicer amenities than manufactured home communities. It's going to have lower lot rent than manufactured home communities. And you're going to be centrally located, usually much better than a manufactured home community. So it to me, in my opinion, after brokering over 600 of these homes, I can tell you that people always dismiss park models because they see it and they say, oh no, I need a 2-bed, 2-bath double wide. Or, oh no, I need, a 60-foot long single wide. Hey, I get it. I got you 100%. But please, when you're looking at homes, just at least entertain the idea. Just entertain the idea of coming up with a different idea and going the route of a park model. If you want to go a brand new home, totally fine. I work with a company called Legacy Homes out of Texas, and they specialize in park models. And they make some awesome freaking park models for like $40,000. They're brand new. They do in-house financing. They'll deliver all over the country, and they're fantastic little houses. Now that $40,000 is going to be the base home, all right? That's not going to have the carport and all the other goodies, but that just gives you an idea compared to a brand new double wide, which is like $120,000. You're at a third of the price. Now, here is the only thing that I'm going to say, because I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Why don't I like park models? I don't like park models for one reason. I told you all the pros about park models. Now I'm going to tell you the negatives. Okay, because I got to be fair, right? I got to be fair. Here's what I don't like about park models. Okay, park models are going to depreciate if you get a brand new park model. Park models are going to depreciate much faster than traditional manufactured houses. Okay. So if you buy a brand new park model, like I was talking about Legacy, great company, awesome people, awesome products. If you buy a brand new park model, expect it to lose more value than a single wide and especially a double wide. Why? Well, for the same reasons that I love park models are the same reasons why they're going to depreciate. Let me explain. They're going to depreciate because people might want to be in a manufactured home community. They don't want to be in an RV park. Most RV park or most manufactured home communities won't allow park models. So if you go and you buy a new park model, chances are you're kind of pigeonholing yourself into an RV park. So, yin and yang, right? Pro and con. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you want to be in an RV park based on the reasons why I love them, because the nicer amenities, the lower lot rent, the better location, the fact that it's basically a ghost town 9 months a year. And you can have the pool and the pool tables and the fun stuff basically to you and your family's like own kind of private deal. Some people don't want that. Because some people don't want that, they tend to depreciate faster. Some people are so focused on getting a 2-bed, 2-bath double wide because that's the idea they need or the thought process they follow. They won't even entertain the idea of a park model. So park models will drop in value. I've never heard of a park model going on private land. So if you're in the camp where you want to buy a home and you want to put it on private land, I've never seen it go on private land. I've always seen them be put in RV parks. Can they be put on private land? Sure, of course they could, but most people don't see it that way. Most people say, oh no, I need a double wide for a private land deal. So I think a lot of the negatives of park models essentially go to not being educated on it, if that makes sense. Not knowing what it is and not knowing the value that it can bring for you and your family. So when you're looking at a home and you want to go the park route, okay, and you're thinking about buying a home and paying lot rent or buying a home and buying a share, entertain the idea of park models. Seriously, guys, entertain the idea of park models. You're going to save a lot of money. You're going to get a newer home, a much newer home, and you're going to be shocked at the price you can get it for. If you're looking at getting a home and you're going to put it on private land and you want to put a park model on private land, you definitely can. It's just I've never seen it done before. So park models, I think, are going to be fantastic because you're going to get more bang for your buck. You're going to get better features. You're going to get a newer home. However, if you buy one new right off the showroom floor and you put it in an RV park and you sell it a couple of years later, unfortunately, I've always seen that they sell much cheaper. That's why we're having that one that is coming into our inventory this afternoon. that's going to be less than half the price that they paid for it less than 10 years ago. And if that was a double wide, I don't think they'd even be close to losing that much money. So if you buy a new park model, just kind of understand that. So that wraps up my idea of park models. Again, I'm sorry I don't have the visuals. I had this whole thing laid out. I was really excited about it. It's live TV. Sometimes that happens. I should have tried it a couple of different ways before I jumped on. So when you're thinking about park models, or if you're thinking about buying a home soon, and you want to spend a little bit less money, and you're thinking about being in a park, think about a park model, okay? People say, oh, it's only 400 feet, or some of the big ones are like 500 square feet. I could never live in 500 square feet. I get it. I hear you. However, if you build out the Florida room, that 500 becomes 1,000, like that, for not nearly as much money as you would be spending for the double wide. So park models for the win in Mark Heiser's book. So I hope you found value in that, and we're able to think about park models in a little bit different way. I'm going to get a shot of water real fast, and we're going to jump into the group questions that were emailed to me. I'll put my email here up in the chat in case you don't have it, in case you haven't seen it. And we have all kinds of fun things to share with you guys here this evening. There's my email in the chat, guys. Write it down. And if you got questions during the week, let me know. Go ahead and email them over to me, and I'll do the best I can to write them out and to get them ready for the call here on Thursday nights. I only have one caveat. If I get told that I have a question, if I get emailed a question, I always say something very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the channel. We'll answer this in the live stream. Please don't get upset or frustrated with me if I don't give you a full 5-page email response, because again, I use these for talking points here in the live stream. So first question, this was a YouTube comment from, and this goes out to Kelly Faracas 7831. Kelly Faracas 7831 is her screen name on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, Kelly. We greatly appreciate you. Her question was, Mark, can you opt out of amenities? Let's see. Can you opt out of paying the amenity fee to bring down your lot rent? I want to pay less lot rent, and I don't care if I ever am able to use the pool. Let me know. Okay, Kelly, great question. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. The direct answer to that, I'll give you 2 direct answers. Number 1, always check with the park manager. Okay, I'm not a park manager. I'm a mobile home broker, so I have to kind of say that with an asterisk. Talk to the park manager. I will then answer it another way. No, you cannot. You cannot. Lot rent is going to be set by the park manager. It's going to be set by the park owner or the ownership group. Okay. With lot rent, you can have one of 2 ways you do lot rent. Okay. Way number 1 is going to be what they call a flat lot rent rate. Okay. Flat lot rent rate. What that means is, let's say there's 100 homes in the park. Every home is paying the same amount. It doesn't matter what your view is, how long you live there. If you look at a pool, if you look at a air conditioner, if you look at a grassy knoll, everybody pays the same amount. Flat lot rent rate. Okay. The second way you're going to be paying lot rent is the opposite, and that's called a variable lot rent rate. So Kelly, a variable lot rent rate would be one that it is either your lot rent is based 100% off of the view of the house and where the house is located in the park. So if you have, say, a water view, and you're deciding between 2 houses, one has a water view and one has like a grassy knoll view. I don't know why I keep saying grassy knoll tonight. I don't know what's going on here. One has like a lawn view and one has like a water view. Okay. The water view, 99.9% of the time, is always going to be more expensive in a variable lot rent community. Okay. So when you're looking at lot rents, Kelly, make sure you understand the difference between a flat and a variable, and then talk to the park manager if you can pay less lot rent. I will tell you this much. I've never heard of that, and I don't think you're going to have much luck with it, but I can't speak for every mobile home park in the country. So best of luck to you with that. But you want to make sure you talk to the park manager. Okay. Next one. This was emailed to me this afternoon from Brian Gardson from Tampa. All right, Brian, you're a local guy. Fantastic. Mark, thank you so much for everything you do with the channel. Can't wait to learn about your new education program. Hey, Brian, we're going to be talking about that later here tonight. Can you let me know about what home brands are most popular and which ones you recommend? I recently just sold a single family house. I lost my wife. I'm very sorry, Brian. And I'm looking to downsize out in the country, maybe around Tallahassee. Any help would be great. I look forward to hearing your response. Well, Brian, thank you so much for the support of the channel. I'm very sorry about your loss. And I pray for you and your family. I hope everything is okay. So when we're talking about brands of homes, there's a lot of different brands, Brian. It really depends kind of what your budget is and what you're looking for. Yeah, that's kind of the easy answer. Brands of mobile homes or manufactured homes are going to be kind of like brands of cars. You know, what brand of car do you like? Do you like Toyota? Do you like Ford? Do you like Lexus? Do you like Mercedes? You know, each one has a different nameplate. Each one has a different, fits and finishes, bells and whistles, as my dad used to tell me, those types of things. Okay. So it kind of depends, like, what do you really want? Now, I'll give you a couple. The biggest mobile home or manufactured home brand in this industry is called Clayton Homes. Okay. Clayton Homes is kind of what I refer to, and hear me out. I refer to Clayton Homes as kind of the Walmart, if you will, of manufactured homes, Brian. You can kind of go to Walmart, and whether you like Walmart or you don't, you can kind of find just about everything. Now, it may not be your brand. You may want a particular pair of jeans or tennis shoes, and Walmart doesn't have them. But Walmart has jeans and tennis shoes, right? You follow me? Clayton kind of has a little bit of everything. They do some park models. They do a lot of double wides. They do a lot of single wides. They have all different price points. So Clayton is one that I would use as kind of like a basis to go and search other homes. Okay. View Clayton is kind of like, and I mean this respectfully, View Clayton is kind of like the CarMax of manufactured homes. If you're not familiar with CarMax, guys, CarMax is a car dealership, nationwide, where they've got every kind of brand of car within reason. If you want to drive a Ford pickup truck, you can. If you want to drive a Porsche, you can. And it's all at the same lot. So I like CarMax if I need to buy a car, because I go there and I drive a bunch of different cars and I get an idea. Maybe it's not the exact car I want, but at least I've never driven a Chevy pickup truck. Then I can go there and drive a couple, get an idea if I like Chevy or if I like Ram, that kind of thing, Brian. So I would use Clayton. If you're new to this business, new to this industry, Brian, I would go and use Clayton as kind of your basis and kind of walk around, see what they have. They have homes of all different price points and kind of go from there. So I use Clayton as a base and kind of work your way up. Cavco is a company that I personally work with, Cavco Homes. They're out of Pennsylvania. Cavco is going to have, single wides and double wides. And they do some park models, but they don't really do them. They're going to be a little bit more custom, more kind of fit and finish, where Clayton is going to be kind of your Blaine Jane. If you're looking for a park model, like we just discussed, I'll tell you, go to Legacy. Legacy Homes in Texas, I think, does the best park models, hands down. They specialize in them. They're known for them. So I would look at Legacy if you're looking for a park model. I would look at Clayton to kind of start your journey. And depending on your budget, I'd also look at Cavco. Champion is another one I would put in there as well. So park models, Legacy, start with Clayton. Kind of get an idea what's out there. View Clayton as a CarMax or as a Walmart, respectfully. Take a look at Champion. Take a look at Cavco, depending on what your budget is. Those would be kind of my four that I would suggest. There's other smaller ones. There's a company out of Indiana called Adventure Homes. They do great work. I'm good friends with those guys. But it just depends on where you're in Tampa, it says. And it kind of depends. I don't know that Adventure ships to Florida. So those would be four I would take a look at. Okay, next one, Dennis Bernard, Mr. Dennis Bernard from Fort Worth, Texas. All right, Dennis. Hey, Mark, I really appreciate what you're doing on all the information here, and I appreciate you answering this question if you have time, sir. You bet, Dennis. You're up, buddy. I'm looking at selling my home in a park with lot rent, and since I know you're not licensed in Florida. I know you're not licensed in Texas. I'm going to try to sell it myself. Great. I would love for you to sell, and I would love for you to sell our home, but I know you only have a license in Florida, so you're limited at this time. How should I price my home? Is there any tips or tricks you can provide as far as getting more eyeballs on my home when I put it up on the market? Thank you for all you do, Dennis. Dennis, I appreciate you being a fan of the channel. I appreciate you reaching out. Yes, we are licensed mobile home brokers in Florida. That's where we are licensed. That's where we sell. Now, we have entertained the idea recently of spreading out to Texas as well as spreading out to North Carolina. We have several associates in both states who've asked us if they can sell for the mobile home dealer in North Carolina, and quite a few over in Texas. I haven't made that decision yet for the company if we will go in those extra states, but if we do, Dennis, I'll definitely let you know. Now, as far as selling your home, you see it's in a park, and are there any tips and tricks? Yeah, I have a couple, Dennis, and this is for everybody obviously in the call. When you're looking at selling your home, there's two big numbers you want to focus on, okay? Well, there's a lot of different numbers, but there's kind of two right out of the chute when you're looking to price your home, Dennis. Number one is your home, and you didn't tell me, so I'm just going to walk the whole call through this, Dennis. Number one, if your home is over $100,000, here's a marketing tip that we use all the time with the mobile home dealer, and it always works very, very well for us. God bless us. And God bless this idea, because it's created a lot of sales. First one, if your home is on over 100 grand, price it in $10,000 increments, Dennis. Okay, so 110, 120, 130, 140. Okay, don't get finicky on the fives. Do not go 105, 115, 117, 112. Don't do that. I'll explain why in a second. If your home, Dennis, is under 100 grand, price in $5,000 increments. 95, 80, 75, 60, 15. You get the idea. Stay on the fives if it's under 100 grand. Stay in the tens if it's over 120, 130, 140, 150. Here is why. This is a secret sauce here, Dennis. Here is why. I assume you are going to try and sell it yourself. You're not just going to put your house in, and you want to actually get it sold. So if you actually want to get your home sold, Dennis, do not just put a for sale by owner in the front yard. Okay. I'm speaking from someone who has brokered over 600 homes at this point, and I can tell you that the vast majority of homes do not sell to drive-bys. They sell to people out of state. They sell to people out of the county. Heck, they even sell to people out of the country. So you've got to get online presence. Okay. The mobile home dealer, we do a lot of stuff with YouTube, obviously. We do a lot of stuff with buyer lists. We have about 32,000 people on our buyer list. So we are able to generate a lot of sales very, very quickly based on that. But Dennis, since you don't have that, you still want to advertise somewhere online. I would suggest getting on, Zillow, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace is usually a waste of time. So I would go to like Zillow, Realtor.com, that kind of thing. Okay. You want to hug, again, $5,000 increments if your house is under 100 grand. Why? Here is the key, Dennis. The key is we have the data to back this comment up. That's why I feel like I can say this with 100% confidence. We have the data to tell us that if the home is under $100,000, buyers look in $5,000 increments, right? So they go to Zillow or Realtor.com, and they search the city. You're in Fort Worth, so they'll search the city in $5,000 increments. Homes in Fort Worth, Texas, under 55 grand. Homes in Fort Worth, Texas, under 70 grand. You get my drift? They will also do the same thing, Dennis. If your house is over 100 grand, they'll do it in $10,000 clips. Houses in Fort Worth under 120,000. Houses in Fort Worth under 160,000. Kind of follow me? Okay. Because we know that buyers, that a buyer psychology will do that. We know that because the mobile home dealer has that data. Okay. We've spent a lot of money to get that data. So we have that data. So because we know that, we have to follow what a buyer is going to look for, right? It would make no sense whatsoever if we know the psychology of a buyer and then we go totally rogue, right? If we know our customer wants a cheese pizza and we're a pizza shop, why would we sell sushi? I'm being goofy, but my point is, if we know what our customer wants and what they're looking for, we got to give our customer what they want. Does that make sense? So Dennis, If your house is under 100 grand, $5,000 clips. If your house is over 100 grand, $10,000 clips. The buyers are looking in those price amounts. Where buyers screw up terribly is when they go against what a buyer, or when, let me back it up. Sellers will screw things up royally if they go against what the buyer wants. Okay, so the buyer wants things in $5,000 clips. If you're selling your home for 60 grand, let's say it's under 100,000. Sellers will screw things up royally if they start getting funky with the numbers. They want to get cute. 47.5, 46.2, 31.1, silly numbers that literally make no sense. And here's why. If the buyer is searching in a $5,000 clip, okay, we have the data to show that that's how they look. And we also have the data to show that if your home is not at the very top, the term is called above the fold, which means if you have to scroll on your phone or if you have to click on your laptop, that's below the fold. Buyers only look above the fold, meaning buyers will not take your home seriously if they have to swipe or if they have to click. So when you price your home, let's say it's $60,000, we want to grab that buyer. So we would put our house at like 59.9 because they're going to look at for homes under 60,000. So if you put your home at $60,000, okay, it's not going to get into the listing of homes under 60,000 because they're going to start at 59,999, which means that your home at $60,000 is going to be the last possible home for buyers who are searching for homes under 65,000. Okay, so every time they swipe, every time they have to click, every time they have to flip through the Rolodex, we are losing around 16% of buyers. So if your home is on the very bottom corner of the page, okay, then you can pretty much imagine it's never going to get seen, let alone not even clicked on. So you have to understand the buyer psychology, follow the buyer psychology. If it's in $5,000 clip, if it's under 100 grand, go in $5,000 clips. If it's over 100 grand, go in $10,000. Put a 9 at the end. So, 109,999. If you want to get 110, it's $1. Okay. And that's a psychology trick you want to play with a buyer. So you get at the very top above the fold and you can get as many eyeballs as possibly can. That's how I'd strongly suggest pricing. If you're in a park, never, ever, ever use a way to get a buyer as we'll pay lot rent, like as a negotiation tactic, 6 months free lot rent, never do it. Don't ever get involved in that game because buyers want money off. They don't want deals on lot rent. So price aggressively, hug the 5,000 if it's under 100 grand, hug the 10,000 if it's over 100 grand, and let me know how that goes. I wish you only the best of luck, Dennis. All right, guys, that finishes up the emailed questions. We'll jump into the chat here. And let's talk mobiles. My favorite time of the week is Thursday night where we talk. And let's jump in. How's everybody doing tonight? Looks like a pretty busy room. We had about 85 people in here earlier. That's a good number. People staying busy. Oh, before I get going. No, let me jump through the questions, then I'll finish up with the education update. Hey, Bev, great to see you. Great to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. All right, in from Ohio. Good to see another Midwest person. I grew up in Indiana. My sister lives in Ohio. She lives in a small town called Westchester. If you know where that is, outside of Cincinnati. All right, Ron. Good to see you in the chat, my brother. How can I check for termites? Is it a problem everywhere in Florida? Coming down to ASAP to look for a seasonal place. Cool, man. Looking forward to seeing you down here. Give us a holler if we can help. If you just want to chat mobiles, we're always happy to help, Ron. Yeah, so as far as checking for termites, Ron, there's 2 ways you can do it. Very, very fast. They don't cost you any money. Number 1, walk into the home. And I'm not trying to be gross, Ron, but you asked, and this is how we do it at the mobile home dealer. Walk into the home. If you see what appears to be sawdust, like a cluster of sawdust, like somebody's cutting wood or doing a job, and you look around, you don't smell sawdust, you don't see a work truck, you don't see a saw, that's a termite colony. It's an easy way to really say, wow, those are termites. It looks like sawdust, okay? They're usually going to be in the corners of houses on the floor, Okay. I always usually find them in the bedrooms. I don't usually find them in kitchens. I usually find them in bedrooms, but I always look to the corner and the floor. That's number one. Look for sawdust. It doesn't look like a job site. Those are termites. That's number one. Number two, the other easy way to do this, and again, not being gross, but you asked, so I'll tell you. Go to every windowsill. Okay, go to the windowsill, and if you have a cell phone, most cell phones, I think everybody's cell phone these days has like a flashlight, right? One of these deals. So take your flashlight. I'll do it for you right here. Take the flashlight, and what you'll do is you'll go to the windowsill, and you don't have to be weird about it or whatever. You don't have to do every windowsill. Just go to the windowsill with your flashlight and go look around. And Ron, you want to look for wings, like termite wings. Okay, they're small. That's why I suggest a flashlight, even if it's broad daylight. Okay, if you find like a couple, like here and there, I really, not to be gross, but I really wouldn't worry about it, because those could have been from 20 years ago, depending on the age of the home. But if you're cruising around and you're seeing it, and you don't have to do like a CSI thing, and every single inch, but just check it out. Go through maybe half the windows. I would for sure do the bedrooms. If you see like a cluster, like a mound, okay, and like an abnormal size of wings, you got termites. Yeah, got termites. So if you see like one or two wings, don't worry about it. The easy way we always look at it for the mobile home dealer is we look for the sawdust clusters. And that's usually two quick ways you can find them. But yeah, great question. Yeah, Artsy, a lot of them do look like cottages. They're super cool, especially the older ones. Craig, I hear you, man. I hear you. Hope you're staying warm up north. Yeah, great question. Pass-through taxes, are they a one-time payment? Usually not. Pass-through taxes are either going to be assessed annually or monthly if you live in a mobile home park with lot rent, and they don't absorb the pass-through taxes. So usually with pass-through taxes, usually with lot rent, Regina Worth 4972. Usually with lot rent, if you've never seen and I'll bring one for a show here in the future. Usually with lot rent, you get what's called an itemized receipt. We all, if you go to like Walmart, you get an itemized receipt, right? You bought soap and avocados or whatever you bought. What? Well, that'd be quite the Walmart stop. But you're going to have an itemized receipt usually on a mobile home lot rent. Okay, it's going to usually say like lot rent. It's going to say this. It's going to say that. If you get charged for water, they're going to have your water amount. Okay, but the vast majority of the time, if you do get hit with, if you do get charged, I should say, with pass-through tax, it's either going to be monthly or quarterly. I've never seen that it's actually annually. So kind of budget accordingly. Kind of what we spoke about in the past and what we will continue to speak about when you're moving into a community with lot rent. Don't just ask what the lot rent is. That's the biggest mistake we see mobile home buyers make all the time. They only look at what the lot rent is. Horrible idea. Because you have to understand what the lot rent is. Not you, but the buyer should always understand what the lot rent is, but more importantly, what it includes. Okay, we see all the time people on the channel or people that we work with as clients, they'll say, well, I would never pay, pick a number, right? I would never pay $800 a month for lot rent. I'll pay $650 over here, but I would never pay $800. It's like, well, buddy, do you know what you're getting for that price? I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm being honest, because a lot of times parks that are more expensive include much more than the cheaper parks. And if you live in the cheaper park, you actually wind up paying significantly more money per month than the more expensive parks, because the more expensive parks includes more. So please don't ever look for, if you're looking at a park in a community with lot rent, don't ever just look at the lot rent. Then that's one of the biggest mistakes we see day in and day out, week in and week out, year in and year out. People just get so fixated on the lot rent. It's just the lot rent. They don't realize that it's actually what do you get with it. It's the same thing with anything, right? How much does a car cost? Well, it costs this amount of money. Well, I'm not going to pay that. Okay, well, it's a car with a warranty and a year's worth of oil changes or whatever, right? So always make sure you understand what the lot rent includes, not just the price. Lindsay, 7202, great to see you in the chat. Mark, do you have any recommendations for companies to finance a purchase of a pre-owned mobile home? Also, what kind of insurance is usually required? Yeah, so great question. I will answer that two ways, Lindsay. Number one, if you're going to buy a pre-owned home in a park with lot rent, then a couple of companies that we've worked with in the past, 21st Mortgage, they're out of Tennessee. They're the big boys. 21st Mortgage, Vanderbilt Mortgage is another one. Triad Financial in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, so 21st Mortgage, Vanderbilt Mortgage, Triad Financial. Those are the three that we work with at the mobile home dealer. We have absolutely no affiliation with any company. Use who you like, or research somebody else that you want to try. If you're going to buy a home, a pre-owned home, and you're going to buy it with land, that's a real estate transaction. So you could look at, whoever you would like for a mortgage, Bank of America, Chase, whoever you bank with. Then you could shop the rates, Rocket Mortgage, whoever you'd like to do it. If you're going to buy a pre-owned home from a dealership, then talk to the dealership that you're buying it at. Most of them do in-house financing. So it kind of depends on where you're going to go. Those are the three suggestions I would make. What kind of insurance is usually required? So I'll answer that for what I can speak on. I'm not a licensed insurance agent. That's why I don't really talk on it very much, because I don't have the license. Although I feel like I know quite a bit. As far as insurance goes for homes and parks with lot rent, they're usually going to require some type of liability coverage, and then some type of storm damage coverage. Okay, they're not going to require full liability or full coverage, top to bottom, soup to nuts. They're going to require some type of coverage. People a lot of times, and I'll speak for Florida, people a lot of times get concerned that the insurance, because it's horrible on single family homes, that it's going to be just as bad with manufactured homes. And that's actually not the case. Budget, and I'm going to use this as a loose number, Lindsay, just to give you an idea. Budget $100 a month for insurance. $100. Budget $100, and then plus or minus a little bit, but budget $100 into your budget. Okay, that'll give you a really good idea for what insurance is going to cost you. Hope that helps. Let's see, Bev 72. Mark, how do taxes work when buying a used mobile home? Do you have to pay taxes on them every year if it's a land lease? Okay, so taxes, Bev. Yeah, great question. Good to see you in the chat. So taxes, you're going to be paying if you're buying it in a park with leased land. Then Bev, you're going to be paying sales tax, and that's owed one time. Okay, so that's a big payment. Usually around 7% of the purchase price is owed, depending on what state you're in. But that is going to be a one-time. Excuse me. That's going to be a one-time fee, Bev, that you got to pay when you close on the house. Excuse me. Now, if you're talking about other taxes, you may be every year. You might be talking about the registration taxes, Bev. Registration taxes are owed every year to the DMV. If you buy it in a park with lot rent, then it has a title with it. So you're going to be paying the registration fees every year. Rough numbers on that, $15 a year for a single wide in a park model, 30-ish, $40 a year for the registration taxes per year for a double wide. So again, kind of like Lindsay, budget about $25 a year. As far as owned land, then that would be a real estate transaction. So you would have, Bev, then that would be property taxes. You'd be paying property taxes every year, depending on depending on the assessed value of the home and the land. Okay, so that'd be like a real estate transaction. So if you were living on a private land, Bev, you would not be paying yearly registration fees. That would be if you're in a park with lot rent, you would be paying property tax. So if you buy a manufactured home on private land, they what's called retire the title, because now it's a real estate transaction and not a park transaction or a personal property. Okay, so I hope that helps. Stella, yeah, kind of, sort of. You're saying people don't put a park model on a private land because they're going to lose much more value. Yeah, kind of, Stella. Sometimes. Here's what I do know. a lot of times when people put it on private land, when we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Stella, if people put a brand new house on private land and it's new private land, it's called raw land. So what a lot of times people, when they buy a manufactured home and it's on private land, a lot of times people don't care what the house is on there. They sell the house and they get it removed off the property. What they want is they want the utilities, and they want they want everything to be set up correctly. So they want the sewer, they want the septic, or they want the city utilities. So yes and no. A lot of times I know people who buy out in the country and they either haul off the old home, or if it's too old to haul off, they'll demo it. They literally don't care about the house. They want the sewer, the septic, the private utilities. They want it all registered so they can do it. So yeah, I mean, that's what I see if people buy a home out in the country with with a park model. I don't see it, they're losing value because they're on private land. I see more people lose value with them if they buy them brand new and they put them in parks. Sunshine Twilight, love the handle. A question: is going 55 plus mobile home community really a way to go for a frugal retirement? So I guess money is funny, right? Money's funny. Money is all relative. Okay. So what one person would say is affordable would be expensive to the next person, right? And what one person says is expensive would be affordable to the other person. So when we talk about frugality and you talk about kind of living under your means in a retirement, I think it really just depends. So Sunshine, I guess, I mean, is it possible? It depends. I would love to sit there and be like, yes, it's whatever, or no. It depends. It depends on, like anything in life with money, because like I said, money is funny. It really just depends on what your budget is. So some people, it just depends on how much money you're working with. You know, some people have more financial resources, and they move into mobile home parks and they gobble up the most expensive house in the most expensive neighborhood because they compare that to a single family house or a condominium or a townhome, and they're like, golly, they're giving these things away. Some people will say, well, you know, it's super expensive, and a $20 a monthly increase on lot rent is the difference between me feeling comfortable and me feeling pinched on money. So it really kind of depends. I'm not saying one way is more prevalent than the other. We sell homes to people, you know, who don't have a lot of financial means, and we sell homes to people who have quite a bit of financial means. So it kind of just goes each way. There seems to be many additional charges, and not having the knowledge makes it hard to budget. Well, Sunshine Twilight, that's why we do these calls, and I'm thrilled you're here. I put my email up in the chat. Feel free to email me and ask a specific question to make you feel more comfortable with the process. I think that manufactured homes and lot rent communities is by far the shining beacon of affordable housing. I believe that down to my core. You know, if you want to own a home in retirement, then manufactured homes in a park with lot rent, I think, is by far the most affordable way, the most economic way. And it's not just the home ownership; it's the community. It's the as we all get older, you know, it's important to have those relationships. It's important to you know, have people to talk to and hang out with, or go walk the dog with, or, you know, whatever. That's important. And mobile home parks provide that. They also provide more of a condo feel than a single family feel. Most of the parks are going to cover your lawn care. They're going to take care of the pool. If it's got a gated entrance or a guard, they're going to pay them. They're going to set them up. They're going to cover the insurance. If the storm comes, God willing, your home is okay. But they're the ones who are going to pay for, you know, picking up the trees out of the street, or if it's snowing, that kind of thing. So I think mobile home parks and manufactured homes as a whole are the stunning beacon of affordability right now. And I think it'll even be so even more in the near future. Okay. Life of Sad Ending. Good to see you in here, brother. Good to see you. Okay. Where is Uncle Harry? Paul Murphy? Where is Uncle Harry? I'm looking for him too. Man, you bet, Bev. Hey, Paul. So yes and no. Are you strictly West Coast? Yes and no. So what we do, Paul, is we started. I started the firm myself about 5 years ago, and I started in Bradenton. I worked in Bradenton and Sarasota. Since then, we have expanded. We have team members who work in Fort Myers. We have team members who work about an hour or two north of Tampa. We have team members in a triangle. It's kind of a big triangle. We have team members over in Central Florida, Lake Wales, Sebring, Lake Placid. We have a team member over in Vero Beach. We have a team that we're building actually right now over in Daytona Beach. They're going to be Daytona, Flagler, St. Augustine. We have 2 team members who are coming on next month. It looks like husband-wife couple. They're going to be in Jacksonville. So we're kind of building I build triangles out throughout the state because then we can maximize the activity. So when I get one guy or one gal out in an area, I try to get other triangles so they can all work together and network together. And then when I go out there to shoot the videos, I can work a triangle as well and hit as many videos as I can in one shot. So we're all over we're in different triangles. We have another group starting in Miami, the Miami-Dade area. They're going to be up into the Fort Lauderdale area as well. Looks like they're coming on in April, May. So you'll start seeing homes over there as well. So I hope that gives you a better idea with that. Let's see, Sunshine Twilight. I guess it's asking the dealer and park manager what all the costs will be. Yeah. Or feel free to email me anytime, Sunshine, and I'll be happy to go into deep information on that. Life is Sad Ending. Camelot Lakes, great park. Lakes and the other one, their twin brother, are good. No reason why. Life's Sad Ending. The problem that I've always had in that park is the lot rent. That's the reason why we tend to stay out of there. We've probably sold as a company. We've probably sold, I don't know, not a ton, maybe a dozen homes in the Camelots over the years. I think we sold like 4 last year. And we've always gotten pushback from the lot rents because if you cast a stone, you can get into a lot cheaper lot rent with kind of the same location. That's Siesta Key general area. I think that's off Clark Road. So that's why. No other reason. It's the same reason why we don't sell very much in Bay Indies. If you're not familiar with Bay Indies, guys, Bay Indies is going to be in a town called Venice. Beautiful area, stunning area. But Bay Indies has super high lot rent. It's a variable lot rent community. Some of the lot rents there, I don't even know what they are for 2026, so I don't want to quote an incorrect number. But we kind of stay out of there for the same reason, because we can provide the Venice area, kind of the beauty of Venice, Florida, at a much lower price in neighboring neighborhoods. So hope that gives you an idea. Okay, guys. So big announcement. You've stuck around this long. And I told you guys, I wanted you guys to be the first ones who knew about this. This is a project I've been working on now for about 3.5 months. Okay. And I wanted to bring it to you guys first. This is going to be pushed out on our channel starting on Sunday. We're going to have videos pushing this new idea. But since you guys are here, we're going to go ahead and push it to you guys first. So I want to cordially invite you. I'll put the website in here. I'm very excited about this. Okay, so the hat, and you will see other information here that I'll be talking about on a regular basis. The mobile home dealer, as I've alluded to, is stretching our legs out. We're doing a lot more than just being the home tour company now. So we're getting into education, and we're making sure that people are educated on how to buy and how to sell mobile homes. We're going to start talking about investing in mobile homes, whether you're looking to do different things. But right now, we're just focusing on how to correctly buy a mobile home. After being in this space now for 5 years, I've brokered over 600 homes. I go to trade shows. I'll be in Biloxi, Mississippi here in a few weeks. I go to all these different trade shows, and I see whether you're buying a used home and you have a small budget, or you're buying a brand new home and you got a big budget. People are making the same mistakes, and they're losing a lot of money. And I'm sick and tired of seeing people not know what they're doing and not being educated on things. So I have decided to take the bull by the horns and start the mobilehomeschool.com. And the Mobile Home School is going to be a school community where we teach you how to buy a home correctly. If you go to themobilehomeschool.com today, there's a free PDF. You can literally click there and download it. It's free. It's my gift to you. It doesn't cost you a dime. And that is going to be the top 10 mistakes I see all the time after doing this, literally over 600 times now, that mobile home buyers make all the time, and how you can avoid that. Okay, so if you're looking to buy a mobile home, go to the Mobile Home School, or if you're looking to sell a home, or you're just interested, you're just kind of wanting to check things out and learn about things, go to the mobilehomeschool.com. Take a click on that. We're just getting all the back end emails set up as we speak. But I was so excited, I couldn't wait until Sunday. So the mobilehomeschool.com is going to have all of the information. And we're going to build it out here over the next several weeks with different books and courses and all this other kind of stuff. But that'll at least get you started with the free PDF. Click on that. Make sure that you download it. It'll be emailed to you in a couple of minutes after you put in your information there. And that'll be a great place to get all of the information. So if you're looking to buy or sell a mobile home, you are now going to be educated. Okay. All the time I've seen over the past 5 years, so many people make the same mistakes, and so many people not know what they're doing. They buy a house, maybe it's in a park with lot rent. They don't understand lot rent. They buy it, they get frustrated. Maybe they can't afford it. And they're like, gosh, this is terrible. I can't stand mobile homes. We're going to be able to help that person. The person who is thinking about, oh, well, maybe I'll downsize, but mobile homes are trailer parks. I don't live there. No, they're not. We're going to educate that person. So now our goal with the Mobile Home School is to be the leader in education, so that everybody in the entire manufactured home industry now can go to one central place and get educated on buying or selling a mobile home. That way, when you're ready to buy or sell, you're educated. You know what to do, and you know how to act. So in turn, you're going to be able to save yourself a ton of freaking money. When I was in Kentucky in January at a home show, I was seeing people, and they just didn't understand the basics of mobile homes. And I'm not picking on anybody there. I'm not picking on any sales guy or any, manufacturer, but they just will not, they just didn't know what they were looking at. And I'm there recording videos, for the mobile home dealer channel, and I'm seeing all this kind of stuff, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, my God, like, you don't know the difference between a single wide and a double wide, but the guy is trying to sell you something that's like the Mac Daddy model. Like, do you even understand what a vapor barrier is? Like, do you understand what subflooring is? Do you understand like what is going on? And I would hear this stuff in January at that show, and I would just get so frustrated because these people weren't being helped. They didn't know the basics, the sales guy and the sales lady. And again, I'm not picking on anybody. They were just trying to sell them the unit, but not actually say, hey, when you move a house, this is what you want to be concerned about. And then when I go and I work with our sales team and I see the things that they run into with the mobile home dealer, the buyers and the sellers, they don't know. They have a limited budget of a few $100s, and they want to spruce up their house. And then they get upset when they put the money in the house and they don't get their money back when they sell it. So the Mobile Home School is going to be able to really streamline everybody here. Kind of what I was talking about, pricing homes. We talk about that in the Mobile Home School. So you have 100% knowledge. You know as much as I do, essentially, by going through the whole Mobile Home School program, that you will then be able to sit there and say, yes, I'm going to buy a home. I know what to look for. I know how to get a good deal. I know where to go to get a good deal. I know how to negotiate. I know that I'm not going to get the wool pulled over my eyes, and I'm going to be an educated buyer. Okay. There are no shortage of companies out there who teach people how to buy a house, like a single family house, how to buy a car, but there's nobody teaching people how to buy a mobile home. And then people are getting hosed all the time, if that's even a word people use anymore. I guess it's an Indiana thing, that they get jerked around all the time. They wind up buying a house that they're not happy with. They wind up overpaying for something that they're not happy with, and they wind up getting upset, saying, "Oh, this is terrible," and they go down the road. So, that is something that I really think is going to be huge for the entire industry, and I hope it helps everybody for sure. So my gift to you, the free PDF, grab that tonight, download it, and I hope you get some information from it that is valuable for you going on in the future. So, friends, thank you so much for being a part of the live stream. One last thing about the Mobile Home School. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we're going to start doing educational videos then on Sundays and getting those out. They're going to be very, very to the point. It's not going to be real gimmicky. The one that's coming out this Sunday, it's like 4 minutes long. I jump in, I hit it hard, and I educate you on one topic and one topic only. give you all the experience. If they're selling 600 houses, the most important thing for that one topic, and I jump in there and get after it. So make sure you keep your eye open for that, and that'll be coming out then on Sunday. So thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. Sorry I didn't have the visuals. I'm going to promise you to do a better job, do the visuals for next week when we chat on our live stream, and I look forward to seeing everybody there. So as always, friends, thank you so much for being here. My name is Mark. You've been with the Mobile Home Dealer. See y'all on the next one.